生死を分かつ境界線見定める。Oh my God! He's so goddamn!
Not only do I get to talk about a male character since I've started doing these discussion bits on up-to-date JP server content, but bless up! It's a joy for me to tell you that he's actually really good. Finally, Diarmuid is given some proper justice. Just not as a Lancer. His new outfit is cool, his animations are cool, and he's a permanent addition to every summoning pool, so he's free to lose your cool at any given time. Aw, shucks, DW. It's almost like you care that there was a 2-year time gap since you made that flub on the E Pluribus Unum PV before we finally got to see this guy on full display. So what does he do? Well, just looking at him gives me a sense of revelation. The time of low hit counts is pretty much over. In the early days of Fate Grand Order, it would be common to see most characters have 2 to 3 hits on both arts and quick. Buster usually had just 1 hit, and you'd be lucky to see an extra attack with 5 or more hits. Noble Phantasms didn't even feature a ton of hits on most characters. But nowadays, if you want to make quick good, it isn't just about making the card type physically stronger. It's about performance, and that can only be truly fixed by implementing higher hit counts across the board. 4, 3, 4, 4, with a whopping 10 hits on his quick Noble Phantasm. With a deck like that, his only competition at the time of his release is the 5-star Okita Soji, who is limited, and the 4-star Summer Frankenstein, who is also limited. Oh, and Julius Caesar, I guess. Hey, remember when quick Noble Phantasms had to gain additional stars as an overcharge effect to make up the difference for those poor early hit counts? Yeah, neither do I, because Caesar only earned 5 extra stars at 100%. What a steal! How necessary! What good is a 3-turn critical star gather rate increase if I only normally get 2 hits per quick card? Guess I'd better use somebody else to do the gathering for him. Oh, hey, Diarmuid! The man even gains more critical stars when he uses his own gather rate up skill. This man is basically covered in critical stars. After all, have you seen how beautiful he is? He's sparking! All of his skills can reach a 5-turn cooldown by level 10, and all of them are exactly what Quick needs, since DW is finally understanding just where exactly Quick needs support. An evade with a quick boost and an overall attack boost. I like this a lot since it improves his Buster cards too, which you'll preferably be placing at the start of his Brave Chains. Plus he has a 3rd skill which boosts not only his NP gain, but his defense too, something only Quick needs to consider since it's usually playing the long game relative to arts and Buster cards, the former launching NPs for big damage quite often, and the latter attempting to crush the competition before the fight can even truly start. He's basically a microcosm of everything Quick needs to be good, perfectly balanced. And then you take one look at his skill material requirements and cry, for there is a price to pay for something so just and right. And this one's price is 24 medals, 48 stingers, and 60 iron stakes per skill. Have fun farming! So now that it's clear what he can do, let's not pick on Julius Caesar and instead compare Saber Diarmuid to just a couple fairer targets of discussion whom I imagine most others will pit him against since resources, time, and love all have their limits. Sabre Frankenstein, since they're both quick-based, Sabre Lancelot for their complete packages and ease of use, and sure, Okita Soji because it's unavoidable, am I right? Starting with Fran, much like her Berserker counterpart, she comes equipped with many demerits that drag down everything she sets out to accomplish. Diarmuid, on the other hand, has basically no downsides. His attack stat is even significantly higher at max level, his base NP gain is a higher percentage, and his quick cards, especially his Noble Phantasm, feature more hits. Yes, Summer Galvanism is amazing at higher levels, even despite its own demerit, and automatic enemy buff removal at the press of a button from Grief of a Hollow Sultriness is invaluable, but there is simply no reason for her to be a quick servant. She could represent any card type with her kit. Meanwhile, Diarmuid actually actually embodies the quick card wholesale, and makes it look like a viable option apart from Arts and Buster. Don't get me wrong, Saber Fran isn't even a mediocre servant, but she makes quick look kinda like an inconvenience for her, like it's just another demerit. She just wouldn't be my first choice to pair with Scotty, though I have no doubt someone will disagree. Next is Lancelot, another berserker turned saber, except he didn't retain his barely existent quick-based qualities, probably for the best since, you know it, I know it, this man is absolutely bonkers. Sabre Lancelot has been long heralded as one of the most top-tier SR servants in Fate Grand Order for sound reason. With his skills, he basically appoints the star generation focus of the quick archetype to arts cards in such a tight package that it immediately explodes on impact, without drawback, and typically ends fights in a mere couple of turns on his own, making the question of additional protection lacking on his person completely moot if he's up against his class advantage. Meanwhile, Diarmuid acts as a standard for what quick-based servants should be, but nothing more shocking than that. Yes, Diarmuid will gain lots of critical stars from his attacks, but Lancelot doesn't even need his command cards to create a similar amount, and his damage output is similar. He doesn't need to work as hard. Alas, I could simply compare the two by their noble phantasms to make this argument that much easier on myself. Lancelot gets an arts boost immediately before he fires off, and then basically grants a damage plus on himself and his friends toward his targeted enemy for
5 turns.
While Diarmuid's noble phantasm is gimmicky by removing defensive buffs on his target after he's already hit them. But at least he has a chance to cast instant death. Yeah, that'll work great against servants, who are the most likely enemies to cast the legitimately annoying defensive buffs, and have the lowest death rate in the game. You can't see me, but I'm totally rolling my eyes right now. Okay, this feed is stretching pretty long, so I'd better wrap up with the saber-faced Okita Soji to calm your waifu-loving souls once and for all. Is Saber Diarmuid a 4-star servant superior to his 5-star senpai? No, for just 2 reasons. 5-hit quick cards, and 1.09% NP gain per hit at base. Diarmuid still needs skills to be that ferociously quick. Okita Soji made gathering crit stars look cool way before Lolly Jack the Ripper ever entered the picture, and y'all just forgot because Quick itself goddamn sucked the big nut until years later, Our Lady Savior Scotty sang a song of flooding stars chiming into your deaf ears filled with Buster dreams, and somewhere along the way I lost track of my point about Diarmuid being cool. Yeah, I guess he was worth the memes.